My name is Molly Worthen, and I am giving my persuasive speech today on depression in youth. These are my three people that are going to be sitting and watching my speech. The general purpose of this speech is to persuade, and the specific purpose is to inform the audience about depression in youth and to persuade them that with proper training, schools can become equipped to correctly handle youth with depression, and these schools can have officials that can openly talk about this issue. My thesis for this speech is depression in youth can be prevented through proper outlets of emotion, readily available trained sources of counseling at schools, and commonly talking about the issue at hand instead of outcasting those who deal with the issue. So the first point that I'm going to talk about is having positive outlets for this issue. Positive outlets are a very good way for younger people to deal with depression. They can become more active in sports. Prevalence of depression symptoms among college students and the influence of sports activities states that compared with students not active in sports, student athletes express higher self-esteem and lower depressive scores. So this study just basically compared a lot of different students with what they were doing, whether they were active or whether they were inactive, with sports, academics, the different things that they did on a daily basis, and then made them all take scores and reported how they felt every day and what their levels were. And most students that were active in their community and active within school and athletics had higher self-esteem and lower depression. This picture shows a group of guys. They're a men's soccer team, and they have been playing together, and they just won a game, and it's showing that teamwork and being together and working together can build bonds and help students deal with depression because they have more friends and they just generally have higher happiness levels because that they are working out and things like that. Other outlets can be things like yoga, deep breathing techniques, and therapy. There are many different kinds of therapies that are said to help with depression, but each person needs a different kind, so it just depends on the individual. The second point that I'm going to be talking about is readily available and properly trained professionals in schools and youth settings. Youth settings can include community centers or any kind of athletic facilities that they might go to, or a camp or things like that. Suicide has become the third leading cause of death in adolescents. This is a statistic from Depression in Youth. This has become so high because a lot of students feel that they don't have someone to talk to, and they feel that suicide is their only option. With their depression, they don't know who to talk to. They don't know how to talk about it because it's not talked about a lot. Having readily trained and properly available people to help with this and to talk about this is good because they are trained to know the signs of depression and the signs of suicide. Some of these signs may include rage or anger, withdrawal from friends, poor performance in school and athletics, a lack of motivation or energy, and even can lead to substance abuse. These are just some of the main signs that people have found with people who are dealing with depression and don't have someone to talk to about it. Anxiety and depression frequently co-occur both concurrently and subsequently in children and adolescents, and often increases the risks of others. The third point that I'm going to talk about is talking about it with people. This kind of goes along with having someone readily available. These students need to talk about it because depression is very different when you're dealing with depression in an adult and a teen. Adolescents deal with their emotions differently. They don't understand that there are resources for them, and they don't know who to go to, so they just bottle it all up. They need to understand that it is normal for teenagers to deal with these things. In many circumstances, people just say that, oh, they're a teenager, they're moody, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's a deeper issue, and these need to be addressed. So talking about it and allowing this to not become not outcasting people because of this is a very big part of fixing it. The 2017 World Health Day slogan was "Let's Talk." This was supposed to be targeting the stigma that not speaking of depression acts of a barrier between people. In conclusion, depression is difficult and unmanageable and not a choice for people, so making sure it's treated and not criticized is one of the most important parts of it. Thank you.